Captain's Log Supplemental. We're finishing up loading at the Crimson Fleet base before returning to the ship so we can deliver the artifacts to the lodge. Greetings, my intrepid crew. I'm your captain, Bumpcheese Lord 69, and welcome to the 8th to 10th video in my playthrough of Starfield. And so we find ourselves facing off against another log hacking in Starfields. Place your bets. Let me know in the comments how long this took. Victory is ours! Another lock successfully hacked. Did you catch it, or was I too quick for you? Also, the reason this is video number 8 to 10 is I had originally planned to
leave
record
some things
other
behind.
contents, but I had to reload on a previous save. Sadly, when I attempted to do so, the save was not there, so you will not be forced to sit and watch me loot this entire base. If you were hoping to see this, then I apologize. Bye. How stupid was that Brogan fellow? I mean, Mr. Glasgow and I walk out onto the roof, and his first thought is, "Hey guys, look at that incredibly cute redhead and her attack robots who just cut a swath of death through the entire base, killing 7 of our guys. I've got a great idea. Let's try to rob her and take her ship, since that will certainly go well for us, because that's the most sensible thing to do when confronted by someone who clearly has superior lethal combat skills." At some points, you will see the cuts from video 8 to video 10, where you would have seen the rest of 8 and 9 as well, if I had been able to reload and create that content. So, at that point, you will not have to watch me wander aimlessly looting this entire base, and we can move on to other things. For now, you'll just have to bear with me on this one, and make notes of where all the good loot is to take in this place. It does beg the question, however, why the area in which we were just searching was so very red. I suppose it's just mood lighting, or a light from some alarm that has ceased functioning. You know, one thing I truly love about Bethesda games are the environments, and this base looks to be handcrafted with purpose, intent, and thoughts for the things you see around you. I don't know if you noticed, but the scientist corpses around here have actual names. They're not just generic scientist NPCs. And this base looks to have once been an actual office where these scientist characters lived and worked, carrying on their important experiments to further human knowledge and understanding. Now, however, this space looks to have been ravaged, and these scientist characters brutally and tragically killed, no doubt by the terror morph that escaped from one of their experiments. You really feel for these scientist characters whom you've never met. It would be lovely to see more handcrafted content like this in Starfield moving forward.
Your insistence on carrying so many things is reducing our travel speed.
Your insistence on endlessly nagging me about my carry weights is reducing my patience. I would hate to have to tell the fine people at the lodge why you are not with me and what happened to you. It's true, by the way. If you are over-encumbered in Starfields, followers will relentlessly nag you about your carry weights, even if they've been pushed to their maximum capacity and cannot aid you with this problem any further. This was also a problem in Fallout 4, but it seems somehow worse in Starfield. Why, of all the wondrous features Bethesda could have and did pick in Fallout 4 to include in Starfield, would they choose to include such an irritating and tiresome feature? It actually takes away from the gaming experience. Please, Bethesda, free us from this agony and remove this terrible feature and the associated dialogue from this game so that you might include something much cooler. As you have no doubt noticed, we've passed the point in the video at which this was cut, and the content that would have been included sadly isn't. So now we will be moving forwards and returning to...
I do not understand your attachment to all these objects.
Do you see what I mean? This tiresome nonsense with Vasco nagging me about my carry weight simply does not end. Even when Vasco is beginning to loop the same dialogue we've already heard, this is truly maddening. At long last, we're back on the surface of Kreet, so that we can begin our journey back to the frontier and continue our vital quest. Though we have not played far into this game's story at all, I think it still warrants discussion how I feel about the story so far. While I found the gameplay laggy, taking far too long to get me to a place where I can assess my situation and sort through the items I've collected so far, the story, on the other hand, is quite well-paced. I find Starfield's story does a good job of introducing me to the characters and setting, and drip-feeding me lore and plot points at a decent rate, keeping me interested and making me look forward to seeing where the story goes from here. At last, I can see the frontier ahead of me. We are finally almost there. You may have noticed that I'm not wearing the spacesuits on the surface of Kreet. It is important in Starfield to note which planets have a breathable atmosphere and which planets require you to wear the spacesuit. This will have relevance to a feature you've not seen yet but will be discussed in a later video. Also, there is a bug with that particular feature that
We
I
need
think
to
you
reach
will
the
find
Alpha
very
Centauri
interesting.
system, Captain. The
The
planet of
time has
Jemison.
come, dear viewer, to retrieve our things from Mr. Vasco
I
and
will
cease
happily
using him
carry
as a
whatever you
carrying
need.
case for the time being, especially since Starfield handles carry weights so well. Alas, we will be departing for Jemison in the next video. You may have also noticed how ugly the female
I
character's
will
underwear
accept
is in
any and all
Starfield.
items.
There are, however, some clever modders who have created an underwear mods for Starfield. I would appreciate it if those clever modders would create a variation of their mods that does not give my character bomb underwear. Well, that will just about be the end of the video. So, for now, thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you were infotained. Tell Ash Dixon how not boring this was. Game with the reboot. Let's make Saints Row 5, and I'll see you on the next video. Giddy, giddy, boy.